Good morning, students. Before starting the next topic, we will have a quick recap again today. The chapter is Ruling the Countryside. In this chapter, we read about the company becomes Diwan, that how the company becomes Diwan first of all, and how did they start their revenue systems over here. Then revenue for the company, we read over here about the systems, different systems, and how did they feel that the need to improve agriculture. And afterwards, we read about the problems of the permanent settlement. That permanent settlement was the first revenue system which was started by the company. And this system did not run well, and the company felt many of the problems over here. And then the new system was devised, which was known as the Mahalwadi system. Mahalwadi system, this was basically started in northwestern provinces of Bengal Presidency, into which Uttar Pradesh area was also included. It was started in 1822 by Holt Mackenzie, and basically this was a system which was started into the villages, and where the village headman was responsible to collect the revenue and to pay to the English people, means Britishers. Next is the Munro system. Munro system was a system which was also known as the Riyatwadi system. This was also tried on a small scale in the southern part of India by Thomas Munro. Afterwards, we read that what were all the problems which were felt by these Britishers. Then what kind of crops were grown for Europe, like tea was grown in Assam, sugarcane in the Uttar Pradesh. This we read into this. Wheat in Punjab, cotton in Maharashtra and Punjab, rice in Madras. Then we read about indigo. Why the demand for Indian indigo, why the Indian indigo was in high demand in the other countries. Next, then why did Britain turn to India? What were the reasons behind it? Definitely the reasons were great profit, which the Britishers were getting in India a lot. Then how was indigo cultivated? We read about the two systems, about the niche cultivation, and then we had words on Rayot system. Afterwards, indigo on the land of Rayots, this we read about. And then we read about the indigo planters. Then today we are going to start the Blue Rebellion and after. So what does Blue Rebellion mean? Rebellion means revolt. Now this revolt was started by the people against indigo factories and the indigo crop. So indigo was of blue color because it was providing a rich blue color to us. So that's why this rebellion was known as Blue Rebellion. So this rebellion was started in March 1859. Thousands of ryots in Bengal refused to grow indigo. As the rebellion spread, ryots refused to pay planters and attacked indigo factories. Ryots swore that they will not take advances to sow indigo nor be bullied by the planters' lathials. The indigo ryots had the support of the local zamindars and village headmen. After the revolt of 1857, the British government was worried of another popular rebellion. The government brought in the military to protect the planters from assault and set up the Indigo Commission to look into the system of indigo production. The Indigo Commission held the planters guilty and asked the ryots to fulfill their existing contracts, but they could refuse to produce indigo in future. After the revolt, indigo production collapsed in Bengal. The planters now shifted their occupations to Bihar. Then, in the late 19th century, what happened? With the discovery of synthetic dyes in the late 19th century, their business was severely affected, but yet they managed to expand production. When Mahatma Gandhi returned to India from South Africa, a peasant from Bihar persuaded him to visit Champaran as and see the plight of the indigo cultivators there. Then Mahatma Gandhi visited in 1917, marked the beginning of the Champaran movement against the indigo planters, and this we will read in the further chapters.